Now we've got variable sampling. So we've got attribute sampling. Now we've got variable sampling. And variable sampling, this is an audit technique that involves selecting a sample of transactions or items and testing them to see if they're in compliance with a certain criteria. The results of the sample are then extrapolated to the population as a whole, and it is used in substantive testing. So we saw that attribute sampling is used in tests of controls, and variable sampling is used for substantive testing. Now, if I were you, I would memorize that, but I'm not you, so I can't force you to do it. Definitely recommend memorizing that, being familiar. But for example, here, we want to match to the specific criteria. For example, in substantive testing of inventory, variable sampling could be used to select a sample of items from the population of inventory items and test them for their cost and quantity. The sample items would then be compared to the recorded inventory amounts in the accounts to determine if they're accurately recorded. Just be familiar with these examples, be familiar with these concepts. Nothing too wild, right? It's a lot. That's a lot of content, but hey, that's what you're here for. You signed up for the exam. You can do it. If you're listening to my voice, as you are, you can do it. You will get through this. Now let's just talk about comparison, looking at them one for one. Attribute sampling versus variable sampling. Attribute sampling is used to test the attributes or characteristics of each item in a sample, such as the proper pricing of inventory items, proper recording of inventory discounts. These are, again, more indicative of the internal controls. Are we properly pricing items? Well, if we're not, then that's probably an issue with an overall control rather than a one-time issue. Possible misstatements within inventory records, these are all indicative of internal control issues. Making sure that all items are accounted for, verifying that items have the correct quantity, size, or weight. Variable sampling could be used to estimate whether the dollar amounts of inventory are reasonable, determine whether the cost of goods sold is accurately stated, and examining the relationship between inventory level and sales. Now you might say, like, okay, we've got maybe some overlap because we saw in variable sampling, you can use it to determine if some inventory has the correct size, weight, cost, something like that. But that's going to be more dollar amount. So the difference here, this could be an issue if the inventory is not being recorded properly in terms of its attributes, right? Those are attributes. But variable sampling is going to be more concerned with our dollar amounts. And as such, that's more intertwined with substantive testing. Attribute sampling is used when testing controls as a part of an auditor's evaluation of a company's internal control. And variable sampling would be used to estimate a numerical measurement of a population, such as a dollar value. As we mentioned, those are key points to know here. Make sure you are familiar with that. Hey there. Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material. We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.